Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Laura O'Connor, and I'm CFMA's Membership Director. I'm excited to have you with us today for our Member Benefit Series Zoom meeting featuring our members' online forum, Connection Café. Today, we're going to review some of the basics and cover best practices. We'll talk about how to use the platform effectively to build connections, and we'll review the code of conduct and the frequently asked questions. I've invited 4 CFMA members, 2 general members, and 2 associate members to talk to you about their personal experiences using Connection Café. I think you will gain a lot from their individual perspectives. As we go through the presentation, please feel free to ask questions or drop them in the chat. Additionally, if you've got specific scenarios you want to run by a team member for guidance, please feel free to reach out to me after the presentation and we can schedule a time to connect. All right, now for some of the basics. Connection Café is CFMA's online community where you can ask questions and get feedback from our more than 10,000 members. It's a great way to stay informed and on top of current issues. As a member, you should be receiving a daily email summary each morning of current discussion topics. This daily digest email keeps you informed about what your peers are asking, what solutions might be available, and gives you the opportunity to connect with and support your fellow CFMA members. You can adjust your preferences for these daily emails, and details on this can be found in the frequently asked questions section, which we'll go over in a little bit. If you're a member of a chapter, you've also been auto-subscribed to your chapter's community page. There's also discussion pages for chapter leaders and pages set up for CFMA committees and other CFMA-related groups that you might be subscribed to. You'll also find other specialty communities such as heavy highway, specialty trade, and our recently new page created for our residential contractor members. Often you're automatically subscribed to these pages through information that you provided when you joined, especially for some of our general members. But you can also opt into these pages if you don't see that you're already subscribed or if you're an associate member that's interested in the topic. I also want to point out there's a self-guided CCIFP study forum group that's very active. And if you're getting your certification, you want to go ahead and sign up for that group as well. Now to talk about some of the basics. Are you aware that there's a code of conduct for the Connection Café? This is to ensure the best possible experience for all of our members. We've established some basic guidelines for participation that are outlined in our code of conduct. By joining and participating in Connection Café, you've agreed that you've read and will follow these rules and guidelines. So the rules. These are, basics, but I'll go over them briefly here. Obviously, respect others. Focus on the content of your posts. Focus on the content of the posts, not by the people making them. And extend the benefit of doubt to some of the posts because some of our people posting may be newer members and are not quite savvy on Connection Café yet. Respect the purpose of the community. You want to share your successes, share your challenges, ask for constructive feedback, ask your questions, and maybe talk about your goals. The purpose is not to promote your products and services that you provide. Commercial messages in the discussions or in library entries can be removed if they're deemed commercial by CFMA. This would include promotional materials, special offers, information, soliciting services, and job postings. For those of you that aren't aware, we do have a career center that's dedicated to where you can post your job postings. So it's not appropriate to post them on the Connection Café. I also want to use caution when you're discussing products. Information posted in the discussion groups is available for all to see, so don't post anything you wouldn't want the world to see. You want to respect intellectual property. When you're posting content, you want to ask permission if you can post someone else's content or if you're able to use content created by somebody else. And also, if you post something that you've created and you don't want it to be copied or reused, you want to say so when you're posting it. And also it's courteous to ask if people mind that you're using, maybe a template that they've developed. Our members are generally very kind and helpful with these matters, but it's best to, communicate with each other to make sure everybody's on the same page there. And make sure you're posting your message in the appropriate communities. This way, you'll get the clearest responses because you're asking people in the areas that they're going to be able to help you. Group etiquette. So building on the rules, it's important to consider etiquette when you're interacting on Connection Café. You want to include your topic in the subject line, which will allow members to respond appropriately to your post, and also for them to search easily when they're searching for something around your topic. You don't want to clutter the thread with polite conversation. Obviously, our members are always very kind and like to say thank you and are appreciative. But save that for direct messages and reply directly to the sender. This way, the communication isn't jammed up with a bunch of people saying thank you and you're welcome and those types of things. And then also, if you no longer want to receive information on a thread, we've seen in the past people replying to the group, stop contacting me. That is not a way to unsubscribe yourself, unfortunately, and will just clutter the thread. So details on how to update your subscription to a community can be found in the frequently asked questions section. But, if you're having trouble with this, just email the CFMA team and we will get you unsubscribed that way. So I mentioned frequently asked questions. I encourage you to take some time to review that page. I didn't want to do kind of a technical how to use Connection Café today, but this is where if you click on these links that you see there on the screen, they'll open up and show you, how to actually go about doing things like adding the subscriptions and changing things of that nature. So there's specific instructions there, but it's details for interacting with the communities and updating your subscriptions. There's best practices, information on discussions and blogging, how to access your files through the library, and how to update your member profile. That's all there. And you do want to take a look at your member profile and make sure that what we have is up to date on there, because people that may be reaching out regarding something that you've posted will see that information. So now we want to look at the general inquiries community. This is kind of the main page where the majority of our members are posting their questions, not one of the specific pages, either for your chapter or for a committee or for one of the segments that I mentioned, like heavy highway or specialty trade. So there's different areas, as you can see on the screenshot that I've provided there. There's the discussions, there's the library, that would be like your attachments and things that you're linking. There's the members tab where you're able to see who else is subscribed there, and you could direct message them from that page. And then up by the general inquiries title there is the settings button, and that's where you can go to adjust your subscriptions to things and things of that nature. So I want to take a moment now to talk a bit about some of the hot topics that our members post about on the community. There's a wide range of topics. These are just a few. I always encourage our members to search for previous posts before posting their topic, their question. Not necessarily because I don't want them to create a fresh post, but just to see the way the question has been asked in the past and the types of responses that they've received. That can help creating a more specific question to post this time around to get you the more information that you're looking for. Also, obviously, it is good to see if someone has already answered your question. You don't need to create a new post. Or I do know members that do the search and then they direct message people that have provided feedback around a topic. That way they don't need to create a whole nother post on the topic, but they're able to get further details on specific questions that they had. So these are some of the hot topics. Accounting software is huge, payroll issues, safety trends, PTO policies, WIP. You can see HR questions. And then, like I said, there's sometimes CCIFP resources that are mentioned, since that's a big priority for some of our members. So it really runs the board there. So now I mentioned that we were going to have an update from some of our members to talk about their experiences posting on Connection Café. I wanted to start with our general members. Nicole Taylor Schaefer and Andrea Orlana, are you on here with us? I see Andrea. I don't know if Nicole's on here yet.
I am here.
Oh, perfect. Nicole, so first, Nicole and Andrea are involved with some of our committees. Nicole is our vice chair of our specialty trade committee, and Andrea serves on our membership committee. Both ladies are very active in their chapters as well. Nicole, do you want to lead off and talk a little bit about how you use Connection Café, and then pass it over to Andrea for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm currently subscribed to numerous different threads, like Laura was talking about. So the general, my chapter, and then specialty trades and heavy highway, because my company happens to be involved in both. So on a day-to-day basis, what I do is I look at the blast that comes out from CFMA, kind of peruse some of the topics. Sometimes I think, oh, that's pertinent to me. I'm curious as to what other people are doing about that. And so I'll read through the threads. Might be something that I didn't think of myself. And so that's a good way to kind of get some juices flowing about, oh, this could be a problem that I didn't foresee that I probably will have in the near future. So it allows me to be a little bit proactive on that respect. And in other ways, I know I've gone out there numerous times to ask for what do people do? For me, it's mostly processes and things like that, just kind of curiosity when you have limited resources, what other people are doing. I am always blown away at the generosity of other members. You'd be surprised how often they'll share with you a blank spreadsheet. Hey, I use this, and it's beautiful, and it'll help you, for hours of putting together a spreadsheet because they've already done it for you. Or it'll give you ideas about how to create your own, and you can kind of use it as a building block. So I'm always blown away how often that'll happen. Other members will share that information with you. Yeah, so that's how I use it. Andrea?
Sorry, had to get the unmute button. I am also, like she said, a general member. We are actually a smaller GC that does, we used to do residential, but now we're more multifamily. So I essentially look at it as if there is, I think in the past I've used it for bond questions, like if I need to get a bond on certain projects, if they're a large amount, because we don't do that very often. I've used it for discussions on company credit cards. What are the best ones? What are people's preferences? Yes, there have been times where people have messaged and called, and what's awesome about the whole system is they try to stop that because, I want your feedback. I want people's actual, like what you use, and do you like it? Do you not like it? The pros and cons. I like to see how everybody looks at those different processes. Same with, any new type of like systems. There are so many out there, and I'm always trying to look for ways to improve our processes. I mean, they're pretty awesome by now, but there's always something new that comes out, and it's great, especially with those daily emails when you see what's going on, what people are talking about. So I love those daily emails. I go through them and I like to see what people are talking about. So I get a great example. People, this one is years of service bonus. And I'm like, ooh, that's cool. My company doesn't do that. Maybe we should implement it. So it's things like that. It also just gives you great ideas of what other people are talking about. And it could potentially, like Laura said before, answer questions you already have. So I utilize that a lot. And it's also just nice to see the ongoings of other companies. So again, I love the feedback from people. That's my main reason for utilizing the discussion forum.
Thank you, Nicole and Andrea. That was really helpful. One thing that I picked up on that Andrea said was she's looking for peer feedback. So I think it would be helpful to note that as a general member, if you are looking to hear from your counterparts at other GCs or subs, that you specifically state that in your post. So you're really narrowing down the information that you're looking to receive. I think that would go a long way. And then let's turn it over to our associate members. From the associate member perspective, we have Kathy Cole and Carol Hagan. Both of these ladies are very involved members at CFMA and with their respective chapters, and they have also both served recently on our associate member value task force. Kathy, do you want to lead us off and then pass it over to Carol?
Sure. One of the main ways I use Connection Cafe is to stay updated on what's on your mind as the leader of your financial, the general members. What's on their minds? What's keeping them up at night, I guess is how I would put it. And just keeping me in tune with that, as well as I use Connection Cafe as a connector. So if I see somebody post something that I know something about, or I know someone knows something about it, I will private message and say, you might want to talk to Sean Erickson at CJ Erickson in Chicago, or someone else that may know something about what that particular topic is. I try to, as much as possible, stay away from any kind of message that sounds like selling. As an associate member, I find that networking and relationships and just building the relationship without saying a word about sales is a much better approach in establishing a rapport with people. So I just want to be there to help.
Thanks, Kathy. Carol, are you on with us?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
And I'll have to repeat a little of Kathy's. I really use it as a connection. When I can frequently answer some of the questions that people are posting, even if it's not something I do directly. I find that if you are helpful in Connection Cafe, people appreciate you. They'll go and look at your LinkedIn profile, see what you do. And if that's something that would be helpful to them, they say connect in LinkedIn, or maybe reach out through the Connection Cafe themselves and say, hey, I noticed you do this or that, and could you answer a few questions or help me with this? So, frequently I am reading through there and trying to chime in on something. I don't always post publicly the answer. Sometimes I'm just DMing them and saying, you might want to look at, this particular piece of software for it. And it's not something that I necessarily sell at all. But that I've seen it either at a conference, or I've had good experiences that my customers have told me about. So I'm always just making that bridge. Now, as you can see, I also market myself pretty well. If you look at my name in my little window and what company I work for, branding is really important, but you cannot be pushy in the Connection Cafe. It'll just turn everyone off. Just be helpful. That is the real key.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Kathy. I think those are very important messages for our members. So I want to thank Nicole, Andrea, Kathy, and Carol for sharing their experience with the group. I think I heard a lot of valuable information, and I hope that you can take that back to how you're using Connection Cafe to make the experience more productive for you. I want to thank you all for taking the time to learn about Connection Cafe today. I'm going to send a follow-up email with the slides and a copy of the recording of the presentation. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to reach out to me directly. Now I'm going to stop sharing the screen and we can take questions if anyone has. I didn't see anything in the chat, but let me open it up here and we can answer any questions that you all might have. And if not, I can let you know that our next member benefit series will be held on April 22nd, and it will be around our first rule contract training, which is one of our affinity programs. So information will be coming soon. I see a question in the chat about Viewpoints community, which is full. Let me look into that for you. I'm not aware of a committee being full, but there sometimes might be restrictions on who is allowed to join a certain committee. So I will find that out for you. And anyone else? The Viewpoint question was from Donna. Anyone else have any questions? You can feel free to unmute or drop them in the chat.
I don't know if this is helpful or not, but if the Viewpoint community is full, I know that I get emails from both our San Diego chapter, which I'm a part of, but I also get emails from the Orange County, which I'm not a part of. So I don't know if there's a chapter next to you that might be open or available. But you can still probably go to your local chapter events as well.
Anyone else? All right, well, please feel free to reach out to me if you think of anything later, or if you have specific questions that you want to run by the team, that you didn't want to, bring up here. Oh, I'm seeing a few more questions. So, a couple more people interested in the viewpoint, and the CCIFP study group form doesn't appear to be open. That might be by invitation only, but, you know, you just let us know. I'll find out about those two communities for you. So glad we're having this. Anybody else have any questions? All right, so I'll get you those answers. I'll put those answers in the summary email that I send out later this week as well, so everyone can benefit from the questions. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day. Thanks for being a CFMA member.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.